There's a quiet power that older men possess. One that doesn't shout, doesn't rush, and doesn't chase. It's the power of patience. In a world that's obsessed with instant gratification and fast-paced flirting, older men often stand out not because they're louder, but because they're slower, more grounded, more deliberate. And this is precisely what draws younger women in. They aren't falling for the flashiness or the quick wit of youth. They're magnetized by something deeper. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about the message it sends. When an older man doesn't rush, he's saying, I have nothing to prove. I don't need to win you. I choose to let you come to me. That energy creates a gravitational pull, one that many younger women feel but can't always explain. It's the kind of presence that feels safe, sure, and oddly seductive. Younger women live in a time of chaos, endless swipes, constant notifications, and guys trying too hard to impress. Patience then becomes a rare and irresistible quality. It shows emotional maturity, restraint, and the self-respect to not beg for attention. When a man doesn't chase, he creates space for a woman to lean in. He's not performing. He's simply existing in his truth. And in that stillness, he becomes fascinating. Many younger women are tired of the games and ego-driven competition that comes from dating guys their own age. They're looking for a man who doesn't flinch when she pulls back. A man who doesn't try to fill every silence with noise. Older men who are patient know that attraction is not built in a frenzy. It's built in moments of calm. They know that when a woman feels seen, not chased, she becomes more curious about the man behind the silence. Patience also signals something crucial: emotional control. Women are deeply attuned to emotional energy. They pick up on desperation, insecurity, or anxiety within seconds. But when an older man remains calm and centered, no matter how chaotic the environment, or how unpredictable the woman, it tells her that he's anchored. And that kind of emotional security is sexy. It makes her feel like she doesn't have to lead. She can finally relax. Younger women often crave that. Someone who won't get flustered. Someone who listens more than he talks. That's what patience does. It makes space for her emotions without becoming consumed by them. In doing so, the older man becomes not just desirable, but trustworthy. Another layer of this power is in how patient men communicate. They don't over-explain or overshare. They let their words breathe. This calm pacing shows a woman that the man in front of her is confident enough to speak slowly, to leave gaps, to make eye contact without pressure. That kind of presence commands attention. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about not needing to be gotten. Older men who carry themselves with this calm, patient rhythm make women feel like they've entered a new world, a slower, richer world where every gesture means something. That contrast to today's dating chaos is profoundly attractive. Patience also redefines value. Younger men often try to prove their worth instantly, through money, status, charm, or clever words. But patient older men understand that value reveals itself over time. They don't rush to win approval. They don't push for validation. They understand that the slow burn always outlasts the quick spark. This mindset shifts the power dynamic. Instead of convincing her to like him, he invites her to discover him. And that journey of discovery, if done right, becomes a far more emotionally compelling experience for her. When a woman feels like she's uncovering the mystery of a man, rather than being sold to, she becomes far more invested. Moreover, the older man's patience often stems from a deeper understanding of timing. He knows that attraction, connection, intimacy, none of these can be forced. He doesn't panic when things don't move fast. He doesn't assume silence means rejection. He doesn't take emotional distance personally, because he knows people open when they feel safe, not when they're chased. And safety is something you offer through presence and patience. He also understands the long game. That one meaningful connection is worth more than 100 rushed flings. This long view, this ability to delay gratification, is rare and deeply masculine. It makes her feel like she's dealing with a man who's building something real, not just playing games. Another important thing patience allows is standards. When a man isn't in a rush to impress or seduce, he can actually observe. He can see who she really is. He can listen without projecting. And in that stillness, he can decide whether she meets his standards. That's a powerful reversal. Women are used to being pursued, evaluated, and desired. But when a man doesn't chase, she starts to wonder, what does he want? This flips the script. Suddenly she becomes invested in being chosen, not just admired. That subtle shift in energy is what creates a magnetic pull. She leans in, not because he's pressuring her, but because his patience makes her question her own curiosity. Patience also makes romance more potent. In a world of instant gratification, where everything moves fast, texts, dates, hookups, a man who slows things down is unforgettable. When he waits before kissing her, when he doesn't immediately try to sleep with her, when he makes her want more before offering it, he's creating tension. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way that builds anticipation and emotional depth. That kind of pacing makes the connection feel earned, not given. And anything earned holds more weight. It feels more sacred. Older men who understand this aren't afraid to wait, because they know what's waiting for is worth far more than what's rushed. And let's be honest, patience comes from experience. Older men have likely loved, lost, failed, and grown. That journey humbles them. It gives them perspective. They're not impressed by superficial attraction or momentary excitement. They've learned to value the woman who reveals herself slowly, who grows over time, who deepens instead of just dazzling. That kind of man isn't looking to conquer. He's looking to connect. And that makes all the difference. Younger women, whether they admit it or not, are drawn to the emotional richness that older men bring. Patience is just the expression of that depth. It's how wisdom looks in action. So let's bring it all together. Patience isn't just a strategy, it's a language that speaks volumes without needing to say much. When an older man embodies patience, he sends a powerful message. I value peace over pressure. I choose presence over performance. And I understand that real connection can't be rushed. That kind of energy is rare. It's mature. It's magnetic. And younger women feel it deeply. They might not always be able to explain it, but they respond to it. Because in that quiet strength, they feel something that's missing in most of modern dating: safety, certainty, and sincerity. If you're an older man watching this, I want you to remember something important. You don't need to compete with younger guys. You don't need to be louder, richer, funnier, or faster. What you already have, experience, emotional steadiness, wisdom, and patience, is the very thing younger women crave deep down. You don't need to chase her to impress her. You just need to be solid, be present, be slow in a world that's too fast. That's your edge. And more importantly, that's your peace. When you stop chasing, something interesting happens. You gain clarity. You start to see who's really drawn to your energy, not your efforts. And those are the connections worth keeping, because when she chooses you, without being pursued, pressured, or convinced, that's real. That's raw. That's the kind of bond that actually lasts. So next time you feel tempted to rush, to overtext, to prove your worth, pause, take a breath. Let your silence speak. Let your calmness lead. Trust the slow unfolding of real connection. And remind yourself, you're not behind. You're ahead, because you've already discovered what most men are still chasing: the power of stillness, the magnetism of maturity, and the quiet strength of patience. If you found value in this message, give it a like, share it with a friend, or drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your stories, whether you've lived this, witnessed it, or just started practicing it. And if you want more content like this, wisdom for men who lead with substance, not noise, make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell so you don't miss the next video. Till then, Stay grounded, stay patient, and remember, you don't need to chase what naturally flows toward you.